Okay, I wanted to show you guys some line work techniques and also my brush. It's called Inkin, sort of like tattoo ink, Inkin. I don't remember which brush I made it from, but I use it all the time to do line work. So I'm just going to show you kind of my technique. So once you have your sketch here, I usually just lower my sketch to about, I'll do 50% just to make sure that you guys can also see the sketch. So when I do line work, I don't want to make the lines too thick. So that's probably a good size. I'll make it a little bigger. So that's probably a good size. So what I usually do when I'm sketching is I look at these big shapes and I try to do them as simple as possible. You don't have to follow your sketch to the T because I like to sketch really thick. So when I do my line work, that's pretty much cleaning up this sketch. So I'm looking for all of these big shapes and I'm going to simplify them. So I'm going to start with this line here. So I just go along with the general shape and I try to stick to it to the most part. There's going to be certain things that are different, but that's okay. But I'm mostly just trying to stick to a general shape. I can even try to get this whole line in one go. That looks pretty good. And also, it's important to actually draw faster too, because sometimes if you try to draw too slow, then that will affect your lines. So sometimes when you have your template, if you have your sketch, you do have to sort of move fast. So now we'll go for this line here for the beak. And also another thing that I'm doing is I try to move my whole arm. Like I don't always just try to move my wrist. I try to move my whole arm. And I try to get everything in one nice swoop. And this just takes work. And as you can see, right now my canvas is 2732 pixels by 2048 pixels, 132 dpi. And I always draw big on the canvas. Like you don't want to zoom in and be drawing small. You want to draw big. So that's what gives these lines, they're nice and crisp. Let me make sure I'm on the right layer. Okay, good. Sometimes I lock my sketch layer so I don't accidentally draw on it like a dum-dum. All right. And don't always try to get it right in the first go. Like if you have to go over it multiple times, that's normal. You know, just keep going over it until it looks right. There are certain things that you don't always have to make line work. Like for example, this line on the cheek, that's an important line. But this one is thick, so I'm just gonna, normally I would use a different brush to make it easier to do thicker lines, but I'll use the same brush for this whole tutorial. Let's see. Okay, I kind of like that. It's not bad. Now these lines in the sketch I'm not going to make black because I don't want to do everything black. There's certain things like I just drew a cockatiel recently, and there's a section that's a different color. But I have my sketch, so I'm not going to make that black because a color separation doesn't really need line work. Certain things where it's just a color separation, you don't have to put the black lines. Also, I don't really use it for the tongue. For the inside of the mouth, I just do with color, because when you use black, it separates everything, and it can really change the dynamic of your drawing, of your art. So one of the other things that I want to talk about is changing the line colors. So I did the line work in this video. I think I'll make another video where I'll color him in, and then I'll change the colors of the lines just so you can see the difference, because I don't really color, I don't really leave my lines black, because it changes the dynamic of what your art looks like. And you don't really realize it until you actually change the color of the outlines. It makes a really, really big difference. And once I started changing the colors, then it really changed the way I do my art. So I think this is pretty good for now. In the next video, when I have him colored in, then I'll show you the methods that I use to change the line work color, which will, I think, for my art, it just makes it look a lot better, a lot more engaging, and a lot more dynamic. And once again, this brush is Inkin. Terrible handwriting, but you get it. I'm just going to get rid of it, and then I'm going to leave.